just talk about how to deal with people who are disrespectful. So how I deal with people who are disrespectful, it's changed through like my life experiences. How I used to deal with people when I was younger with disrespect, people who are disrespectful, is I would just laugh at it and be basically like passive about it. Like, okay, hey, yeah, haha. Never really had the courage or the means to basically articulate and stand up for myself and say, hey, I'm not going to deal with this disrespect. I mean, what is disrespect? Disrespect, there's different levels of disrespect. There's like the intentional disrespect, somebody who blatantly does not like you at all, and they intentionally, anytime you're around them, they attack you. I mean, and it's quite obvious. They insult you, they call you dumb, they call you stupid, they make, you know, vindictive comments towards you and try to belittle you, try to make you feel like you're incompetent or you're stupid somehow, right? That's basically like intentional disrespect. The other means of disrespect, sometimes it's intentional, other times it's not so intentional, but that's basically where they, like, somebody will like cut you off when you're talking, or anytime you have an idea, they'll be really like passive aggressive about it, and you know, make comments like, oh yeah, you're the one, you know, oh yeah, I would totally do that too. You know, just be very kind of like condescending and sarcastic with their comments. Sometimes that comes from like family members or friends that, you know, don't quite take you serious. Like, say you're changing up on them and say, you know, you're changing your career or you're changing how you're handling situations, and you're trying to basically command that respect. Maybe you dealt with that disrespect differently. Maybe you were like me and you accepted that disrespect almost as if like, oh, that's just who they are. No, that's not who they are. That's who those people choose to be. They choose to be disrespectful. And most of the time, the reason why people are being disrespectful is because they want to see your reaction. They want to see you get mad. They want to see you come out of pocket. They want to see you become somebody that you're not, or that they you know, don't care for you to be. Maybe you're making them look bad in some way, shape, or form, you know. So they'll intentionally like do these jabs because they feel insecure around you, or they feel like, you know, you're better than them. So they're really like projecting this insecurity onto you while you're trying to navigate things. A lot of that comes when you're trying to establish that respect and say, hey, you know, I haven't been the type of person who stood up for myself. I haven't been, hey, what's up, everybody? What's up, fam, bro? Maybe you were that type of person who never really stood up for yourself and told and said, hey, I'm not going to be treated this way. I'm not going to accept this from you, you know. Or the other way is like when you're feeling disrespected or someone's intentionally disrespecting you, you go the exact opposite, which is you're very aggressive, you're overcompensating, you're attacking them back, you're being disrespectful back to them. I know, like, fundamentally, when you're going through things, you know, going through incarceration, going through prison is all about respect. Like, that's all you got in there. You got two things in there: respect and your word. If you don't stick up for yourself or command that respect from the other guys that are incarcerated with you, you're going to get walked on. You're basically, I don't like using different terminology, but you're going to be someone's bitch. So you have to come into that mindset, and it's how they show it in movies. It's pretty accurate. It's not that you got to go to a lunch table and you got to take off on the biggest guy in prison. It's nothing about that. From Cali, man. Yeah, always careful, my guy. So it's not about like getting in chow and just taking up on the biggest person. It's not about that. That's not how you gain respect when you locked up like that. What's up, FF Gaming? What's up, guys? What it's about is about, they're gonna come in and test you. Like when you sit down, they're gonna come in and test your chin. They're gonna test you to see what you made of. And a lot of time that's coming up, and they'll physically like check you, like, hey, what's up? And you know, if you don't stand up for yourself and say, hey, yo, whoa, like back up. You don't know me, I don't know you. You know, hey, what's up, money? What's up, Mandy? If you don't step back from the situation and tell those people like, yo, you know, check it. You don't know me, I don't know you. You gotta step back for a second, you know, and stick up for yourself. What they're gonna do, and what a lot of people do, is they become intimidated, and they basically get this mindset like, oh snap, like this is happening, and they get locked up, like their brain freezes up. They get that deer in the headlight looks, like, oh, I can't look at these people, you know, because they're intimidating. They're scary, you know. They're forcing you to get outside your comfort zone of like, hey, maybe you're an introvert, maybe you're one of those people who kind of stands back from, you know, the crowd and waits for people to come to you. So when people do come to you, you're dealing with that type of a you know, someone oppressing you or coming up to you, and you're like, whoa, and you just instantly submit. And then later on, you thinking in your mind like, man, I wish I would have stood up for myself. I wish I would have told them people, hey, don't be talking to me that way, don't be treating me like that. And so then they learn, okay, this person's going to accept my disrespect. And it doesn't matter where you at in this level. It doesn't matter where you're at on it. It just starts with the fundamental process of sticking up for yourself. And you ain't got to get loud. There's one technique, there's two techniques I'm going to teach you guys. The one thing is silence, right? If someone comes up to you and they're being disrespectful to you in any way, shape, or form, the number one thing I'm going to tell you, I do this myself, is just silence. Just look them dead in their eye. You ain't got to have no facial expression. You ain't got to explain anything. You ain't got to answer no questions or anything else like that. If you know that they're getting at you disrespectfully, don't do nothing. Just stop. Keep your mouth shut and look directly in their eyes. Stare them down all the way to the fibers of their soul. And then you let them know. That's letting them know, like, hey, and what happens, you give it some time. Give it a minute, 2 minutes. In that moment, when you quiet and you're not saying nothing at all, what happens is they're now replaying those same words, that same disrespect that they just shot out of their mouth. It's now replaying in their mind. And then they don't know what you're thinking because they're trying to get a read on you. They're trying to get a read on you, and they're trying to sit there and get this thing on you, sitting there saying, hey, I'm expecting you to attack me back. I'm expecting you to get back to me in some type of way. And when you don't do that, it shuts it down right away because they can't figure you out. And that's the element of surprise. Whether you're scared, whether you intimidated, whether you don't have the confidence or not, it doesn't matter. If you just stop and you don't say nothing at all, that's the number one way to deal with disrespect. The second way of dealing with disrespect is just when someone's being disrespectful. A lot of times, I'm going to use my own example here. I had a family member. They're very, very disrespectful. They always use like passive aggressive type of communication, like make jokes like, oh, hey, oh yeah, sure, you're going to be like that. Oh yeah, you know, and always tear you down or make you feel like you're incompetent, like you don't know what you're talking about. By challenging whatever you try to teach him, or challenge anything you try to say, one, that's just really annoying. It's just really annoying to have people go through things like that and not just sit down and hear you out. The second thing is when you try to check those people by looking at their own life and saying, damn, like you don't even have nothing to be comparing to. Who are you to tell me how to live my life? Who are you to tell me that I need to change this up and do better? Who are you? Like they're 7 ways that fucked up themselves. Like they're stupid. You can't talk to people like that. You cannot get at people like that and try to get it through their thick ass head by saying, hey, look, you're not even a model of your own life. You're not even showing nobody by the example. Who are you to talk? Those are idiots. Those are straight up fools. And what you got to do, you just got to sidestep them people. You got to boop, sidestep. I'm not even going to waste my time and energy even talking to you. I went through this recently with my brother-in-law, right? And I was talking to him about some situations, and I said, look, man, You know, you knocking your head on the wall. I've been trying to come through and start family businesses. I've been trying to teach everybody how to be successful. I've been trying to teach everybody. These people come from like low income housing, like poor. It's just their mindset. It's like they're always struggling. They're always struggling with money. They're struggling to try to pay bills. And I feel sorry for them because this is what I told them. Like, unity is what matters. You can have a gigantic family, but if nobody's unified, if nobody's on the same page, I put it up for example. I'm gonna teach you guys right now. Say you make $100,000. Say your mom makes $100,000. Your sister makes $100,000. Your brother makes $100,000. Your uncle makes $100,000, right? If you guys combine all your efforts together, overall, you guys have a total combined income of $500,000. If you took that $500,000, you can invest into anything you want to invest into, starting a family business, getting real estate, whatever it is. You can take that $500,000, and I don't know about you, but splitting $100,000, using $100,000 to pay all my own bills throughout the whole year, that sounds okay. But if I was able to take $500,000 and invest into real estate and assets, and I make $5 million, I don't know about you, but I would rather split $5 million by everybody adding their income together and becoming a unified family and having a family business. Look at all the wealthy people out there, all the wealthy, like top dollar individuals. They got family businesses. They have the family, like Goldman Sachs. That's a family business. That's the sons are part of it. The daughters are part of it. The grandkids are part of it. That's a family business, and that's the type of business that you want to have for your family, a business that leads from generation to generation to generation. Instead of struggling trying to pay your bills, instead of struggling from your 9 to 5 going, damn, do I even have enough money to be able to go out, and you buying all this frivolous stuff? It's because everybody's on this self-centered path of like, this is mine, this is what I work for, and this is what I'm going to do with it. If everybody just set all that stuff aside, any family, whether you got degrees, education or not, can go from broke to being successful, having 6 figures in your bank account. You know what I mean? So all of that, that's what all that boils down to, is unifying your family. But when I got at him, when I talked to my brother-in-law about this stuff, and I was telling him about this, I said, look, I'm trying to with it. When I'm talking to you, there will be times I spent weeks trying to put together a plan. Let's go buy this business. Let's go put this together. And then just for everybody to bail out on me. I said, bro, that's disrespectful of my time. So I had to learn this very valuable lesson, is that your message isn't out there for everybody. Not everybody's going to pick up what you're putting down and eat with you. And that's fine. The people who are going to eat with you are going to come to you, and you guys are going to eat, and you're all going to eat together. And you can't get locked up on the fact that this is my brother, this is my sister, this is my mom, this is my dad, or these are my family, this is my relatives, whatever it may be. Those are the same people that are not going to be contributing. I got better people who work for me, who give more off their back than what I got my own family members that do for me. And that's sad, because my family, your relatives should be the first ones to sit there and say, hey, look at history. Look at back in the 1800s, 1400s, 13, even like the 800 series, you know, before, after the Dark Ages. Families, you had to survive. You had to stick together for survival. You couldn't just say, oh, I want to go out here. I'm going to go across over here and do my own thing. I'm going to start my own little village over here across the river. You would fucking die. Like, you would not survive, because then the next village is going to be like, oh, psst, hey, they got a little village trying to come up over here. Let's go get their stuff. And you out there hunting and fishing and planting crops, and then the next people gonna come through, and they're gonna take all your stuff, because there's power in numbers, right? There's strength with that. And so the big people, the big villages, everybody in society that had successful places like knew that there's power in numbers. And then power in numbers didn't just come from the numbers. It came from being unified. It came from sitting there saying, hey, we all different. We all have different perspectives and different beliefs and different fundamental things. But at the end of the day, we all fighting for the same thing. And when you got a family like that, your family is not going to be centered around disrespect. You guys are going to learn how to have effective, healthy communication, and all of that centered around respect. I've dealt with everybody under the sun, going from the military for 7 years, doing prison for 7 years. In the military, it's the same concept, guys. The same exact concept applies. It's about respect. Now, you got power when it comes to your rank and all these other things when you're in the military. You got all that other stuff. But what it comes down to is respect. I've had sergeants. I've had like commanding officers. I've had people who are above me that were not respectful at all. And so I had to make the choice. I'm going to respect the rank, but I ain't got to like the person. And that's just from the echelons of the military. Like, those people earn their rank not because they're a good leader, staff sergeants, master sergeants, sergeant majors, whoever they were. They just put their time in and they checked the boxes, got the leadership course. It doesn't make them a great leader. It didn't make them a great leader. I've come across great leaders, bad leaders, people who are leaders that shouldn't have been leaders at all. I've came across that all the way through and through. It's like being on a team, right? Everybody wants to be, most people want to be on that highlighted spot. Most people want to be in that spot of like being the point guard on the basketball team or being the quarterback on the football team. Like, everybody wants that, but not everybody's designed to be a quarterback. Like, the quarterback is one of the most stressful positions because the success of the team is all on you. No one looks at the defense. No one looks at the guy that's putting in the work at the gym and weighs 350 pounds. He's blocking all the blocks. No one's looking at him when he messes up and when he fails. Everybody's looking at that quarterback. So the most pressure's on the quarterback, but everybody wants it because it has the biggest spotlight as well. And if you just sit down with yourself and say, hey, you know what? If you made to be a quarterback, you're going to know. You're going to know because you're going to have that natural magnetism to people. You're going to have that natural thing that people are going to come to you for things. And you're going to have that charisma, that confidence. You're going to have all those different things. And let me tell you, the leaders that have been through the most stuff, those are what make great leaders. You're not going to find no great leader out there in the world. Nobody, not even on your micro scale at your job, that says, yeah, that's a good manager. If that manager hasn't been through anything, just because they got an education, they got book smarts up here, and they say, oh, you know what, I know how to deal with this, but it don't mean nothing. What makes a good manager, what makes a good leader is somebody who puts others in front of themselves. What makes a good leader is the person who says, I'm willing to sacrifice my own time, my own energy, my own things for you so you can become better. That's what makes a great leader. And if you like that, hats off to them. But he's a leader. And that's the bottom line at the end of the day. Okay, anybody out there, Jesus was a fundamentalist, like the biggest influential factor as far as a great leader. If you could sit down with yourself, whether you're religious or not, I don't care. People have been talking about Jesus Christ for thousands of years. You don't talk about somebody for thousands of years who wasn't a great person. You don't talk about him like that. Like, I don't care if you don't believe in Jesus, you don't like Jesus, you've heard of Jesus. You know, if you don't take the time to sit there and have that appreciation, they've been talking about this dude for thousands of years. Look at Jesus' whole message. Look at everything that Jesus did. He was fundamentally, in my opinion, one of the greatest leaders of all time. He was the GOAT of leaders, guys. What did he do? Let's boil it down. Jesus was simply a homeless dude running around from city to city to city, having one message: love. Love your neighbor as yourself. Love your brother, love your sister, love those around you. Give to the poor, help the needy. That, and he washed his own disciples' feet. Like, he took the time to put himself down. This was the guy that was the greatest of greatest, like the biggest of all times. And he sat himself down and became a servant. And that was that. The clues for success are inside of there. It's inside of there. If you apply those things to your life, if you stop worrying about me and being selfish and being self-centered and going, oh, well, I want to do this because it's only going to benefit me, and you start doing things that's going to benefit everyone around you, bro, the money comes, success comes, status comes, prestige comes, everything comes. Because you stop being worried about you and you started taking care of everybody else, the universe comes all the way back around full circle and starts taking care of you, because that's how much of an impact you're having. Let me say, sometimes if you do start and you say, I'm going to get out of this mindset, I'm going to start being selfless, I'm going to start being giving, I'm going to start being these things. If you've been a self-centered person, if you've been an egotistical person, it's hard sometimes to maybe jump out of that mindset. But if you tell yourself, I know this, consistency leads to success. So if you tell yourself every single day, I'm going to get up, I'm going to do something nice with somebody, that one nice deed that you do that day, the next day, one nice deed, the next day, one nice deed. Next thing you know, before you even know it, you're doing 2 nice things and you don't even realize it. Next thing you know, you're doing 5, 10 nice things for people until you get to a point where someone sit down and say, hey, have you done something nice for somebody today? And you say, man, I have. I helped this lady out here. I held the door open for this person. I pushed his cart back for this person. This person was driving all erratic and I gave them the room to get in front of me on the freeway. You know, I went and took this neighbor's trash cans around. You know, even though I don't really like them. You know, I did this for this person. And you start adding all that up. Bro, those are deposits that you're making into the universe. And all that stuff's going to come back around full circle for you. Let me get back to the point here about dealing with disrespect. The biggest thing about dealing with disrespect is when you feel disrespected, you're either going to do 1 or 2 things about it. Actually, 1 or 3 things. 1, you're either going to fight back and you're going to be disrespectful back. You know what? F you and you're this and you're that, and you're going to think of the things to say and you're going to shoot those shots back. The second thing you're going to do, which is what I just taught you, keep your mouth shut. As long as you keep your mouth shut and you stare at that person, you just let them think. You ain't got to talk back. You ain't got to say nothing back. Why you need to defend yourself? You don't need to. It's hard. Trust me, I'm a very opinionated ass person. I'm very opinionated. I used to be the kind of guy who tell you what it is and people say, that guy's an asshole. That guy's a dick. That guy's mean. I don't like that guy because he's not so nice. And I thought, well, you know what? I'd rather hurt you with the truth than destroy you with the lie. That was my mindset. That was my philosophy. But instead of me going through that cycle over and over again, I had to sit there and say, why am I talking back? Why am I getting mad? I have this feeling like I need to defend myself. I need to tell these people, no, you're wrong. Why not just shut up and just take a second and say, hey, you know what? Let me step back from the situation. Let me be quiet. And once I started doing that, all of a sudden these people, let me tell you a real life example. I had this person, they're chopping. They said something like really sideways to me. And I was like, I really went like that. I just stared at them. After I stared at them, they're just looking at me and they're like, what? I just kept staring at him. All these thoughts are in my head. I'm thinking, damn, if I really open my mouth, it's gonna come out like a machine gun, like brrr, I'm gonna hit him and it's gonna be done. Like I know it's bad. It's gonna be bad. I just kept my mouth shut and I kept looking right at him. And then they kept saying, what? Aren't you gonna say something? What? And then I gave him that look like, are you done? Didn't say nothing. I just looked at him and said. Then after that, another minute went by and they just shut up and walked away. They did that to me again. They came back next day, same type of situation, came back, started shooting shots. Like, oh, you know what? You think you're all that. You think you're all this. Instead of me saying, well, yeah, I am all that. Or, no, I'm not all that. You know, it's good. Those are your 2 typical responses. I just kept it quiet, stared right at them. The third day, finally on the third day, they came back and said, man, what's going on with you? What's wrong with you? I said, what do you mean what's wrong with me? No, yeah, what's wrong with you? You're not doing. I said, let me just ask you a real honest question. What's wrong with you? What makes you think it's okay to come talk to me that way? And I'm talking to him calmly like I'm talking to you guys right now. I said, what makes you think that it's okay to talk to me that way? What makes you think that it's okay for you to be disrespectful towards me? Well, I'm not being disrespectful. It's just... Stop. Pause. I'm not even saying it. I'm just staring at him again. Well, you know, once they're done, I said, look, whether you want to accept it or not, I'm going to tell you, I take that as disrespect. I'm only going to deal with disrespect 1 or 2 ways moving forward in 2025. 2025, I'm either going to shut up and not say nothing to you and just stare right at you, or I'm going to sidestep you and get out of your way because I don't want to be around disrespectful people. If I give you respect, if I deal with respect, deal with you with respect, deal with all these different situations, whether I like you or not, I ain't got to like you to respect you. I don't have to. But I got to respect you. I got to respect your beliefs. I got to respect your opinions, your perspectives. I got to respect that because you are you. You're gonna have differences. You're gonna have differences in opinion. Yo, what's up, Durundon? When you on that level, when you dealing with that level of different respect and disrespect, you get your power back when you just stop. Just stop. You ain't got nothing to prove to nobody. Stop explaining yourself. Stop over explaining yourself. When you're telling people, you know what, I'm gonna move this, I'm gonna change my job here, I'm gonna change my career here, or I'm gonna move here. Well, why? What's wrong? Why are you doing this? Why are you gonna change this up? Aren't you like, you don't owe anybody an explanation. The only thing you need to do is follow through with your choices. If you start looking for people's own opinions about your life's gonna be like this. 1 minute over here, 1 minute up here, 1 minute down here, because you going with the wind. You making your life and your choices and your decisions based upon everybody else's opinions, and they're not walking in your walk. They're not in your shoes. They're not your life. You were given your life for who you are, and you're only responsible for your life and your decisions, your choices, how that's going to impact. So let me close up with this, guys. Number one, okay, dealing with disrespectful people, dealing with disrespectful situations. One of three things: be quiet. Keep your mouth shut. Don't say anything to them at all. Just keep it quiet. Just stare right at them. And when they're like, oh, well, what, you're not going to say nothing? Just keep staring. You're going to feel this itch. You're going to feel this urge deep down inside your stomach going, oh, I want to say something. One technique that I learned, because I was always having a problem like keeping my mouth disciplined from not saying anything. I got a rubber band. I wear a rubber band. And I'll snap that. That sent pain signals to my mind to remind me my job, remind me my mission that I was going to complete, which was I was not going to respond. So I'll grab that rubber band subtly and just snap it back. And anytime I'm at that point when these people are talking to me like, hey, man, blah, 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 and really chop me up, or even throwing lies in the mix, trying to get a response from me, I just snap that rubber band. The more times I snapped that rubber band, the calmer I became, the quieter I became. And so they realized they didn't have no power over me. The second thing you could do, sidestep them, man. Sidestep them all the way. Just sidestep them. You see those people coming along your way, you know those people are jerks. You know those people are condescending, vindictive idiots or egotistical people, boyfriend, girlfriends, husband, wives, whatever, family members, cousins, brothers, sisters, moms, dads, whoever they are, I don't care. You see them coming, sidestep them, boom. You ain't got time for that. The energy you're going to waste in 2025 on that, if you took that same energy and applied it to anything to be successful, bro, you can take that same energy and learn how to play an instrument. You can take that same energy and go learn a new language. You can take that same energy and learn how to invest your money, learn how to start businesses, learn how to do whatever it is you want to do. You can take that same exact energy instead of wasting it on those lifeless idiots trying to defend yourself to who? To what? The last little nugget I'm going to leave with you guys. I appreciate you guys watching. I appreciate you. The Rundon, I appreciate you. Everybody's come watch this episode real quick. I just want to say much love to you guys. Blessings to you. The last little bit of knowledge and wisdom I want to leave with you guys is you are who you surround yourself with. And I'm sure you guys heard this. If you guys want to be successful, if you guys want to stop struggling to pay your bills, if you guys want to stop trying to work that 9 to 5, go out and surround yourself with positive people who are the level above you. The people who are underneath you, they're going to hate on you. They're going to talk shit about you. They're going to try to tear you down. And the people who are above you are going to inspire you, are going to encourage you, are going to lift you up. The people who are in the same level as you, they're going to be on the same terminology as you, the same mindset as you. And they're going to be telling you, I'm struggling here. I'm having a hard time with this there. So you want to level up, surround yourself with people on a higher level than you, and they will help you bring you up to that level. Once you get to that level, find the next group of people, find the next person or group of persons. You know what I mean? All right, guys, much love. Hey, I appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys on the next one. Money, money, baby. Thank you.